Welcome to the Brown Sanko Show. Let's take a look at some of the hot trending stories that made headlines. Now, there's this tweet by Elon Musk that struck my attention, and it had a lot of sentiments and reactions on it. This is quote unquote, this is what the tweet said. If you have a womb, you're a woman. Otherwise, you are not. If you have a womb, you're a woman. Otherwise, you are not. And let me tell you, the sentiments, the comments will blow your mind. There's somebody who said, seriously? Somebody said, I can't believe you're now in an era to where you had to state that the obvious. Hey, the mockery. Your gender was assigned by God. He was not confused. Exactly, man. I too was once a man trapped in a woman's body. Then I was born. Wow. The memes, I was born a man but I identify as a woman. Who are you to judge? I identify as the judge. Where? If you're born with a dick, you're not a chick. Hey, the memes, the memes. And another says, so what's the one thing you mostly look for in a woman? XX chromosome. Remember, you can't use reason and logic with people that don't know the difference between a boy and a girl. Oh man. All right, this one is the last one before I get to other story. Peru officially classifies transgender people as mentally ill. The weakest men compete with girls. The weakest minds celebrated. This tweet was a dig to mostly the LGBTQ community. I know. Elon Musk is just unhinged. Anyways, let's take a look at our own local dailies right here. I have the copy of the Daily Nation newspaper, the Sunday Nation. It says, Cyrus Jirongo, the ultimate power broker. And then on top of that as well, on the splash, Uhuru Gachagua rift sparks new Kalonzo Matiang'i tension, page 19 of the Sunday Nation. And then how new senior school selection method works. And then they're explaining about grade 9 learners will be blessed to pursue various pathways starting tomorrow using a formula that officially says will ensure fairness, equity, and transparency. Tomorrow is Monday. Tomorrow is also my birthday, by the way. And then down there, the description talks about, to some, he was a vicious wheeler dealer who symbolized the worst of Kenya's political patronage. To others, he was a shrewd businessman and a politician with staying power, but just as abruptly as he entered the scene, flush with cash and youthful zest to lead President Daniel Moi's 1992 campaign, yesterday his storied life was cut short in a tragic road crash, leaving an unanswered question. Stories on page number 2 and 3, and that's on the top splash, the cover of the Sunday Nation. There's a description of the photo as well. The breakage of a Mercedes-Benz, the former Lugari Member of Parliament, Cyrus Jirongo, was driving when he was involved in an accident at Karai along the Nakuru-Nairobi highway. This is just tragic. And of course, let me just finish and then I'll give you my final verdict on everything. On top of the People Daily newspaper, the splash is Malindi, how Malindi built an Italian connection that still shapes its style today. And then there's an interesting photo of I love Malindi. You know, there's this I love say portrayals are really interesting. Inside, from design dreams of Premier League James Otieno's story, page 9, and then it's witnessed the new holiday hangout culture in Nairobi. I tell you, for real. Even me too, I'm into fitness right now. A lot of young people, in fact, there's a statistic that said there's an uprising, an upsurge of young people, millennials and Gen Z, venturing into fitness as a career to just not only to stay healthy and fit, but to build a fitness profile and also offer fitness help and advice to others who aspire to be in the same sense. But I find it to be really incredible. But for me, I'm into fitness because I wanna stabilize. I wanna reclaim my spirit, my mind, body, and soul. And then let's get to the Standard newspaper. The Standard, of course, it's all about Cyrus Jirongo from 1961 to 2025. To those who knew him, of course, just a description as well. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritties of that. But then on top of that, the splash is actually Cyrus Jirongo, the Sunday Standard. Private schools rule the roost. Education preliminary data from recently released KJSEA results show that learners from private institutions dominated the exceeding expectations category nationally. The story is on page number 4. Now let's get to the Star newspaper, see what they have right over there. Oh, the Star, they didn't manage to upload theirs today. Not the Star did not upload their digital newspaper today, but the Star has partnered a lot with the government, so that's where you also get a copy of my Gov. Right now, let me give you my final reaction on this Sarah Jirongo situation. Um, I think it's really sad because it just comes, I think, after several months when I watched a prophecy actually on YouTube that was talking about that, especially after Raila's departure, they said expect more state funerals to accompany Raila Odinga's, and then what followed thereafter was the death of, was it the burial Odinga as well. Dinar, who died at a road accident, I think he was buried yesterday, and then Cyrus Jirongo, and then plus many others as well. Who, like, in between here, there's been like a trip, like they quadrupled. State funerals just increased. So it calls for the attention of people just praying for government and government officials and politicians and Kasongo. Right now, let's move on to some international news as well that is making headlines. There's an interesting story about Jeffrey Epstein files, and finally, some of the photos that have been published include House Democrats release Epstein photos documenting ties to powerful men. I can see right there. There's a photo of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, who Donald Trump has disassociated himself from him. Yes, there's also a photo of him with Richard Branson, linked to some of the most powerful people in business. And what actually I can recall about Trump is a couple of days ago, he said he doesn't want to hear from Ilhan Omar because the only thing she does best is bitch, and he hates Somalis. He wants them out of America. It's interesting because when Donald Trump said that, Ilhan Omar went again on a media, I'd say on a media what? On a media spree, and she was doing this interview saying, President Donald Trump has a problem with her. He's obsessed with her. But the way Donald Trump will shade you to filth, I wouldn't want to be dissed by Donald Trump. Sometimes I really fear for those reporters that go to the Oval House, the White House, to report and they ask questions. Oh, there's a day he calls another one a bitch. There's a day he calls another one a bitch. There's a day he calls another one obnoxious. There's a day he kicks. Hey man, but Donald Trump used to be a talk show host. Was it a reality TV show host called Celebrity Apprentice? He comes from that world of, say it like you mean it. And with his mentality, a shock jock mentality, perspective, and, opinionated, and he comes off as really cutting and slicing. I like that kind of attitude. But what's happening with black people and posing migration for African countries, I think is really horrible. And I pray that he removes a hold on that. Despite that we as Kenyans, we are in good books with Donald Trump. It doesn't really make a difference, but yeah, but for my country, you guys are good. You guys are good. Now, away from that as well, there's an interesting story about Lionel Messi, who's in a tour in India. So angry fans attending Lionel Messi's tour in India ripped up seats and threw items towards the pitch after his appearance at the Kolkata Salt Lake Stadium. Thousands of supporters had paid up to 12,000 Indian rupees, that's equatable to 133 US dollars, to catch a glimpse of the footballer, but they were left disappointed when he emerged to walk around the pitch and was obscured by a large group of officials and celebrities when the Argentina and the Inter Miami forward was whisked away early by security. After about 20 minutes, elements of the crowd turned hostile. He's on an Indian tour called the GOT Tour, a series of promotional events in Kolkata, in Hyderabad, Mumbai, and New Delhi. So it all turned chaotic because fans were really angry. Why am I paying 133 US dollars, equatable to almost 20,000 Kenya shillings, to go, view a celebrity, and then he pulls up with surrounded by other celebrities. And this is what usually happens even in concerts. You've paid in that VIP, but again, the security guard keeps on blocking you because, bruh, what the hell is that? So it justifies the anger, and I pretty much understand, how these people are feeling. Anyways, now this one will blow your mind. So Pornhub has finally revealed the number of women watching X-rated videos is surging. New report exposes the United States top US searches. Let me just read to you this from the New York Post. They are clicking taboos to the curb. Pornhub has released its annual year-end review report revealing women are turning into X-rated videos at record rates. Let me just see some of the comments. Somebody said, female loneliness is an epidemic. Philip, I'm responsible for half of those numbers. Somebody said here, not me. How do they know this? Asking for a friend. Oh, you want to know how they know this? You wouldn't even dare watch PORN if you knew. How can they tell which gender is watching? Oh my gosh, you guys are so behind life. Reddit is the best. Philippines are the lady boys. Tongue hey, where? How do they know the gender? I knew it. Researching before they start their only fun. Anyways, but this just tells you the number of. Is it? This is like a statistic of how many people are bound by the spirit of lust, which is the most venomous and lethal, destructive, horrible spirit ever. Spirit of lust and sex and corn, it will ruin your life to the gutter, to the abyss. Now, away from that, fake JD Vance image viewed by millions created by an AI influencer goes viral. Mm. Let me just say to you, this story is from the BBC News. A fake image claiming to show JD Vance and his wife arguing in a restaurant has gained millions of views online. YouTuber Keith Edwards said he first created the image using ChatGPT, which was used as part of a thumbnail for a video he published in October. Edwards shared his ChatGPT history with the BBC Verify, which showed he uploaded a photo of JD and Usha Vance and asked for shaky iPhone footage like someone carelessly took it. Oh my gosh. Let me see some of the comments on that video. Welcome to the Trump's unregulated AI world. By the way, funny enough, it comes days after President Donald Trump banned the regulation of AI, White House AI or Oval. Is it the Oval AI or the Pentagon AI? Like they did away with the regulations. And I'll tell you this, we are stepping into a dystopia of AI. The race is now for super intelligence AI that controls AI, other AIs, and controls itself, and AI that cannot be controlled by human intelligence. That's the epitome of the world turning upside down. And so we're going to experience a lot of humanoid life, automated structures, and just a hemisphere of an imaginary endless infinity of indescribable prototypes of AI centered structured robotics, from corporate to in industrialization, the workspace at large. So it's going to be really mad scary. So you guys better be ready. Like safety belts up because it's about to get thick and fast for you. And I think that's just interesting. And I think that's enough for some of the hot trending stories right here. I can see 5G reunites with Black Eyed Peas 8 years after leaving the group. Do you remember? You remember the Black Eyed Peas? I'm gonna scream and shout and let it out loud. Oh, we are. I'm screaming, we are. I wanna scream and shout and let it out loud. I think that's what I remember the Black Eyed Peas for. So 5G has finally reunited with them. Well, I am and the rest. Do you remember the rest?